Remove this Christian trash from my office. Adil Karim towers over 12-year-old Anna Wells as she quietly empties his wastebasket. Her small hands grip the plastic liner, trying to stay invisible. He kicks the bin, sending papers flying across the marble floor. "Filthy little cross-kisser," he mutters in his language to his assistant. "The cleaner's worthless daughter." His assistant laughs, probably praying to her sky ghost. Adil grabs Anna's wrist, his expensive rings digging into her skin. "You understand nothing, do you, little fanatic?" Anna looks up briefly, the tiny silver cross around her neck catching the fluorescent light. She says nothing, just continues picking up the scattered papers. He shoves her aside. "These American fools. We'll steal their $500 million while this Bible hugger cleans up after us." Adil straightens his $10,000 suit, stepping on the papers Anna just collected. But here's what he doesn't know. This worthless child understands every single word he's saying, every insult, every detail of his criminal plan. And in exactly 72 hours, she'll use that knowledge to bring his empire crashing down. Subscribe if you hate rich bullies. The fluorescent light flickers overhead as Anna helps her mother. "Clara, organize cleaning supplies." The smell of disinfectant mingles with the sound of mops clinking against metal buckets. "Mama," Anna whispers, glancing toward the door. "That man today, Mr. Adil. He said terrible things." Clara doesn't look up from counting inventory sheets. "Baby, you know better than to listen to grown folks' business. Just keep your head down." "But Mama, he said he's going to steal Mr. Dawson's money." $500 million! Clara freezes, her pen hovering over the checklist. "What are you talking about, Anna? You don't even know his language." "Yes, I do, Mama." Anna's words tumble out in a rush. "He called me trash. Said you worshipped a dead carpenter. Said Christians are fools, easy to trick. And he bragged he'll use fake contracts to take everything." The pen slips from Clara's fingers, clattering to the concrete floor. "Baby girl, that's impossible. You've never learned." "I taught myself." Anna pulls out her worn phone, scrolling to language learning apps. YouTube videos, community center lessons, and Mrs. Hassan from 3B, she helped me practice. I learned. Clara stares at her daughter like seeing her for the first time. You really understood what that man was saying?" "Every word." Anna's eyes fill with tears. "He's going to hurt people, Mama. The housing project he's talking about. That's where the Rivera kids were supposed to move. Where the Thompsons could finally have their own rooms." Clara sinks onto an overturned bucket, her hands shaking. Speaking up could cost her job, their health insurance, everything they've worked for. But looking at her daughter's determined face, she sees something she's never noticed before. Intelligence that burns like fire. "A faith-fed moral compass pointing true north. What exactly did he say, baby?" Anna takes a deep breath. "He said Monday would be too late to stop them." "Mama, we have to tell someone. We have to tell Mr. Dawson." "Mr. Dawson?" Clara's voice cracks. "Baby, he's not going to listen to us. We're just what, Mama? Just cleaning ladies? Just nobodies?" The question hangs in the air like a challenge. The security guard's hand hovers over his radio as Clara approaches the executive floor, Anna trailing behind in her school backpack and sneakers, the little cross bouncing against her chest. "Ma'am, Mr. Dawson didn't authorize any—" "It's okay." "Marcus!" David Dawson's voice echoes from his office doorway. He looks curious, not annoyed. "Mrs. Wells, is everything all right?" "It's quite late." Clara's hands twist the cleaning cloth she's still holding. "Mr. Dawson, sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but my daughter, she says she heard something important about your deal tomorrow." David's eyebrows rise as he studies Anna, who stands half hidden behind her mother. "Your daughter? Come in, both of you." The office smells like expensive leather and coffee. Anna perches on the edge of an oversized chair, her feet barely touching the ground. "Now then," David settles behind his desk. "What's this about?" "The man with the fancy watch," Anna begins quietly. "Mr. Adil. He spoke in his language. He said things—" David leans forward. "Honey, I don't think you understand." "He said you're a fool. That Americans and Christians are weak and easy to trick." Anna's voice grows stronger. "He's planning to steal your money through fake contracts." David exchanges glances with Clara, then speaks gently. "Sweetheart, Sometimes grown-ups use big words that sound scary. But Anna straightens, and the foreign syllables flow from her lips with perfect pronunciation. David's coffee cup freezes halfway to his mouth. He said, "We'll take everything from this stupid company," Anna translates. Then she adds, his assistant laughed and said, "They worship fairy tales." She switches back to English. "They think you'll never catch the deception because you don't know the language." David sets down his cup with shaking hands. How do you know this language?" "YouTube, mostly. And Mrs. Hassan upstairs teaches me. I help translate for refugee kids at the community center." Anna pulls out her phone. "Want me to show you?" She opens a news clip. As the rapid foreign speech flows from the speaker, Anna translates simultaneously. The reporter is saying the parliament voted on new trade agreements. The opposition leader claims the president is hiding corruption in infrastructure deals. David's jaw drops. The translation is flawless, capturing not just words but context and nuance. "Anna," his voice is barely a whisper. "What exactly did Mr. Adil say about our deal?" He used special lawyer words mixed with casual talk to confuse any translator you might hire. He said the real contract gives him control after 6 months, not you, and there are hidden words that make you pay penalties if you try to stop him. She slides off the chair and approaches his desk, her cross glinting in the lamplight. "Mr. Dawson, can I see the contract?" With trembling hands, David pulls out the foreign language sections. Anna scans them quickly, her young finger tracing the text. "Right here," she points to a seemingly innocent paragraph. "This says temporary partnership arrangement." But in the legal phrasing of his language, temporary actually means until transfer of primary authority. And this word here, she taps another line. In their dialect, the phrase meant complete ownership, not shared management like your translator probably said. David stares at the contract, then at this 12-year-old who just exposed a multi-million-dollar fraud. "There's more." "Mr. Dawson," Anna's voice drops to a whisper. "He said they've done this to other American companies before." She swallows. "He laughed about how easy it is because Americans never learn their language well enough to catch the trick." The office falls silent except for the hum of the air conditioning. David looks at Clara, who appears as stunned as he is. "Mrs. Wells," David finally says, "your daughter may have just saved our company from the biggest fraud in our history." Anna climbs back into the chair. "Mr. Dawson, the signing is tomorrow, right? He said he moved it up because he wants to finish the Americans before they get suspicious." David reaches for his phone with shaking hands. "I need to call my legal team now." "Wait." Anna holds up a small hand. "He also said something about having a backup American lawyer already paid to help them if anything goes wrong. Someone inside your company." The room seems to drop 10 degrees. 7-year-old Anna had once pressed her face against their apartment window, watching a refugee family across the courtyard struggle with English paperwork. Mrs. Hassan held official documents, tears streaming down her face as she tried to explain to a housing official. "Mama, why is she crying?" Anna had asked. Clara had pulled her daughter close. "Sometimes, baby girl, when people can't speak the same language, they can't get help, even when they really need it." That night, Anna downloaded her first language app. Back in David's office, she explains quietly, hands folded in her lap. "I started with Spanish, for the kids at school whose parents couldn't come to teacher meetings. Then the refugee family started moving into our building, so I learned more." David leans forward, captivated. "How many languages do you speak, Anna?" 8 fluently. Working on 3 more. She shrugs like it's nothing special. "Mrs. Gonzalez taught me Portuguese. Mr. Kim helps with Korean. I teach myself the others online." Clara's voice breaks with a mix of pride and pain. She stays up until midnight sometimes, listening to foreign news, helping neighbors fill out forms. "I thought she was just playing games on that phone." "Why languages, honey?" David asks gently. Anna looks up with eyes too wise for her age. "Because when people can't understand each other, bad things happen. Kids get scared. Families get separated. People like Mr. Adel think they can trick everyone." She pulls a worn notebook from her backpack, pages filled with careful vocabulary lists, grammar notes, little translations penned in a 12-year-old hand. Mama always says our minds are gifts from God, but she also says gifts are meant to be shared, not hidden. Anna traces a foreign phrase in the notebook. This says, knowledge is light. I learned it helping Mr. Ahmed with his citizenship test. David studies the notebook, amazed by the depth of study. Anna, this is college-level work. I know. Her voice is matter-of-fact. College costs money we don't have, so I learn for free and help who I can. Clara wipes her eyes. My baby teaches Sunday school in 3 languages, translates for parents at the clinic. I didn't know she was this smart. You always knew, Mama, Anna whispers. You just didn't know other people would listen. Monday morning, outside the glass conference room. I need you to be my secret weapon, David whispers to Anna as they wait. Can you handle that? Anna nods, clutching her backpack. Inside the conference room, she can see Adil pacing while speaking rapidly into his phone. Of course, not in English. Remember, David says softly, you're just here with your mom while she works. Act like a normal kid. Can you do that? Yes, sir. Her hands tremble as she pulls out coloring books and crayons. David opens the door. Gentlemen, my apologies. Our cleaning staff needs to finish up here. They'll be very quiet. Adil barely glances at Clara and Anna as they enter. To him, they are furniture. Anna spreads her coloring supplies near the wall, close enough to hear everything, far enough to appear uninvolved. She starts coloring a butterfly. Pink and purple wings take shape. As Adil continues his call, muttering in his tongue, Anna's crayon pauses for a beat, then keeps moving across the paper. Yes, Adil says into the phone, voice low and confident. Everything is going according to plan. He mentions, in that curt dialect, a phrase that translates to we. Will hold full title. He sneers about the Americans and their fairy tale faith, chuckling that they'll sign anything that looks right, a corner of Anna's butterfly. Wing gets colored a little too hard. The crayon presses deep into the paper. Adil's assistant slips into the room and closes the door behind him, the sound like the click of a lock. In their dialect, the phrase meant complete ownership, not shared management like your translator probably said. Are you speaking English in a way that raises suspicions? Adil mutters, half to his phone, half to the room. No, they're all clueless. But there's a small problem. The lawyer we paid off in the company said someone wants to review the project details. Anna reaches for her red crayon and knocks her box. Crayons tumble across the marble floor. Sorry, she whispers, scrambling to collect them. Both Adil and his assistant ignore her completely. Who is it? The assistant asks. I don't know the name, Adil replies, but we'll make him agree or we'll destroy him. His laugh is cold. Anna's small hand freezes around a blue crayon. And what about the housing project? The assistant asks. That's the beautiful part, Adil says. We'll take the land and build resorts for the rich. The poor people in that area will find themselves homeless. The blue crayon snaps in Anna's grip. Adil checks his expensive watch. Everything will be finished soon. As the 2 men leave, Anna slowly packs up her crayons. Her butterfly drawing lies forgotten on the floor. One wing whole and vibrant, the other torn where her crayon pressed too hard when she heard families would lose their homes. David approaches quietly. Well, he asks. Anna looks up, tears in her eyes. Mr. Dawson, it's worse than we thought. We don't have much time. 30 minutes later, Dawson and Kaura's main conference room. David stands before his senior partners. Anna sitting small and quiet in an oversized chair beside him. The mahogany table stretches between them like a courtroom divide. Let me understand this correctly, a silver-haired partner says, adjusting her glasses. You want to delay a $500 million deal because of something a child claims to have overheard? Another partner, voice dripping condescension, interrupts. Are we really taking legal advice from the cleaner's daughter? This is absurd. She's 12 years old, he snorts. Children mishear things. They make up stories for attention. This is exactly what happens when you let the help bring their kids to work. Anna's small hands clench in her lap, but she stays silent. Gentlemen, ladies, David tries again. She speaks the language fluently. She understood everything. Oh, please. A third partner leans back in his leather chair. These kids watch too much television. Probably picked up a few words from some show and thinks she's a translator. Maybe she misunderstood what she heard. He waves a hand dismissively. You know how these people can be? Seeing conspiracies everywhere. The room goes quiet. The implication hangs in the air like poison. Clara shifts uncomfortably by the door, wanting to grab her daughter and run. Furthermore, the first partner continues, flat and cold. Even if this child heard something, we have professional translators. We have contracts reviewed by the finest legal minds in the city. Are you suggesting we trust a 12-year-old over Harvard-trained lawyers? Actually, David's voice hardens, I'm suggesting we listen to someone who might have important information. The condescending partner scoffs. David, she's from the projects. She should be in school, not in boardrooms making up fairy tales about international conspiracies. What's next? Are we going to consult the janitor about merger strategies? Ask security to review our tax codes? That's enough, the condescending partner laughs, then leans in. We can't run a business on fantasies. This is not charity. We can't make decisions based on the tales of some cleaning woman's brat. Anna finally speaks, her voice barely above a whisper. May I ask Mr. Reed something? She says, looking straight at the man who mocked her. The room shifts. Even the skeptics pause. Curiosity for a moment overriding scorn. The partners exchange glances. Foster rolls her eyes. Go ahead, honey, David encourages. Anna looks directly at Reed. You said magna cum laude from Harvard Law in your introduction, but you pronounced magna wrong. It's magna, not magna. Latin stress patterns fall on the penultimate syllable when it contains a long vowel. The room goes dead silent. And Mr. Sullivan, she continues, turning toward him, when you said we should trust the best legal minds, you used a dangling modifier. It should be the best legal minds should trust us, if that's what you meant. Sullivan's face reddens. And Mrs. Foster, Anna adds evenly, you said these people twice. I counted. My mama taught me that when someone says these people, they usually mean people I don't respect. Foster's mouth opens and closes like a fish. David smiles grimly. Now, shall we test her Arabic? Or are you convinced that intelligence doesn't come with age requirements? The senior partners shift uncomfortably in their expensive suits, suddenly very interested in their legal pads. Conference room, 45 minutes before signing, David turns to his humbled partners. Ladies and gentlemen, meet our new linguistic consultant. Anna, are you ready to help us save this deal? The partners sit in stunned silence as David outlines the plan. Adil's team will be here in 30 minutes for final negotiations. Anna will sit quietly in the corner with her tablet, appearing to play a children's game. In reality, she'll monitor all the foreign language communications and feed them intelligence. Foster starts to object, but David cuts her off. Margaret, unless you suddenly learned Arabic overnight, I suggest you listen. Anna opens her tablet and shows them a simple drawing app. I'll use this to send you signals. Red dot means they're lying. Blue dot means important information. Green dot means they're telling the truth about something. That's actually quite sophisticated, Reed admits reluctantly. The conference room doors open. Adil strides in with his legal team, speaking rapid Arabic to his assistant. The money will be completely in our hands. Anna's finger moves across her tablet screen. To anyone watching, she's just coloring a house. But on David's phone, a red dot appears. Gentlemen, welcome, David greets warmly. Ready to finalize this partnership? Of course. Adil smiles thinly. Though I must say, some of these contract terms seem quite favorable to your company. Perhaps too favorable. He's testing them, seeing if they'll negotiate against their own interests. Anna quickly taps a blue dot. David glances at his phone. Actually, Adil, I think the terms are fair as written. 50-50 partnership, shared decision-making, equal profit distribution. Standard international joint venture structure, Adil's assistant whispers in Arabic. They don't know about the hidden clauses, blue dot. However, David says smoothly, I'd like to review Section 47B once more, the subsidiary management structure. Adil's face twitches. That section contains his most carefully hidden traps. How does he know this? Adil hisses in Arabic, red dot, blue dot. Red dot. Anna's small fingers work quickly, her drawing app becoming an intelligence system no one expected. Is there a problem with Section 47B? David asks innocently. No problem. Adil lies smoothly, though perhaps we could discuss the timeline modifications. He launches into a complex explanation, switching between English and Arabic to confuse the Americans. But Anna catches every word. On her tablet, she draws a clock with 6 months crossed out and 30 days written beside it. Interesting, David muses. So you're proposing to accelerate the timeline from 6 months to 30 days? That seems aggressive. Adil freezes. He never mentioned timeline changes in English. How did he hear that? His assistant mutters in Arabic. I don't know. But we must be careful. Adil's eyes sweep the room suspiciously. His gaze passes over Anna, just a child apparently coloring butterflies on her tablet. Mr. Adil, David says calmly, I think we need to discuss the real terms you're proposing. All of them, in detail. Adil's confident smile begins to crack. Sullivan whispers to Foster, How is David doing this? Foster stares at Anna's innocent face, then whispers back, I think we owe someone an apology. David's private office, during recess. He closes the door and sits across from Anna in the small seating area, away from the imposing desk. For the first time all day, he isn't a powerful lawyer, just a man speaking gently to a remarkable child. Can I tell you something, Anna? His voice is gentle, vulnerable. When I was your age, nobody listened to me either. Anna looks up from her tablet, surprised. I grew up in a trailer park in Ohio. My dad fixed cars. My mom cleaned houses, just like your mama. David's eyes go distant. I was the first person in my family to go to college. You know what my high school guidance counselor told me? What? Anna asks. That kids like me don't become lawyers. That I should aim for something more realistic. David shakes his head. I was angry for years. But then I realized something. Being underestimated can be a superpower. How? Anna asks. Because when people expect nothing from you, you can surprise them, like you did today. David leans forward. But Anna, I need you to know something important. What happened in that conference room? This wasn't just about business. What do you mean? She says. My daughter Emma is your age. She's smart. Not as sharp as you, but smart. Sometimes she comes home crying because kids tease her for reading too much, for knowing too many answers. His voice cracks a little. If someone dismissed Emma the way my partners dismissed you today, I'd be heartbroken. Anna fidgets with her stylus. People think I'm weird because I like languages more than TikTok. You know what's weird? David murmurs. A world where a 12-year-old has to save adults from their own ignorance. He smiles sadly. Anna, what you did today, understanding those conversations, catching that fraud, that wasn't luck. That was years of hard work, dedication, and natural brilliance. I just wanted to help the refugee kids at the community center who can't talk to their teachers, Anna says quietly. And that's exactly why you're special, David says, voice firm. You didn't learn 8 languages to show off. You learned them to serve others. That's the difference between intelligence and wisdom. You have both. Clara appears in the doorway. They're calling us back. David stands and offers Anna his hand. Ready to change history, partner? Anna takes his hand, her small fingers wrapping around his. Mr. Dawson, when this is over, can I meet Emma? Maybe teach her some Arabic. She'd love that. She could teach you about soccer. She's obsessed. For a moment, they are just two people who understand what it means to be underestimated, walking together toward justice. Conference room. Final confrontation. Adil returns with a briefcase full of new documents and a coldness in his eyes that wasn't there before. His assistant carries a small digital recorder. They're being extra careful now. Mr. Dawson, Adil's voice is silk over steel. I've brought revised contracts. Final terms, non-negotiable. He spreads thick legal documents across the mahogany table. The foreign language sections are even more complex than before. Dense, archaic script mixed with modern Gulf dialect terminology. These require immediate signature. Market conditions have shifted, he says. David glances at Anna, who sits innocently in her corner, tablet in hand. To Adil, she's invisible furniture. Of course, David answers smoothly. But I'd like our linguistic consultant to review the foreign language sections first. Your consultant? Adil's eyebrows rise. I wasn't aware you had language expertise in-house. Recent acquisition, David replies without missing a beat. Adil's assistant whispers urgently to him. Should we be concerned about this? No, Adil answers, outwardly calm. Their foreign lawyer isn't here today, and they can't understand the ancient phrasing I used. Anna's finger traces a casual circle on her tablet, drawing flowers. Anyone watching would think. But David's phone flashes a red dot. These contracts, Adil continues in English, sounding reasonable and professional, reflect standard international joint venture terms, 60-day transition period, shared oversight, mutual profit distribution. But in his private words to his assistant, the ones Anna catches exactly, he boasts the real text gives them complete control after only 30 days. And when the other party tries to break the contract, they'll owe $200 million in penalties. Blue dot, red dot, blue dot. Anna sketches what appears to be a house with numbers beside it, 30 days and $200 million. Interesting, David muses, studying the English copy. I see 60 days mentioned here, but I'm curious about enforcement mechanisms. Adil freezes. He never mentioned the 30-day transfer in English. How does he know about the 30 days? The assistant hisses in their language. Quiet. Maybe it was a guess, comes the reply. A red dot appears on David's phone. Mr. Adil, David says calmly, could you clarify the penalty structure? The translated text seems comprehensive. Adil's confidence cracks. What penalty structure? The $200 million in liquidated damages mentioned in Section 73C of the foreign language text. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Adil's face goes pale. This can't be right. They can't read that level of legal Arabic in this room. There must be a spy, his assistant whispers in their tongue. Both dots, red and blue, flash frantically on David's screen. Adil's eyes scan the room like a predator seeking prey. They pass over the senior partners, the legal assistants, David himself, and come to rest on Anna. The little girl sits quietly, coloring what appears to be a rainbow on her tablet, completely absorbed in her childish artwork. Adil stares at her a long, suspicious moment, then walks over to her chair. Little girl, he says, his voice deceptively gentle. What are you drawing? A rainbow? Anna answers without looking up, continuing to color. What's your name, little girl? The question is a trap. If she understands, she'll react. Anna keeps coloring, showing no sign she heard anything unusual. Do you like rainbows? He adds, testing her, still no reaction. Adil relaxes slightly. Just a stupid child after all. But then he notices something. Anna's crayon paused for a microsecond when he spoke their language. You're sure she doesn't understand? He asks his assistant. This time Anna's hand trembles. Adil's eyes narrow. He kneels beside her chair, his expensive suit bringing him to her eye level. Do you understand us? He asks, slow and small, testing. Anna looks up with big innocent eyes. Are you talking to me, mister? I don't speak that, she says in English, and then, automatically, I only speak English and a little Spanish from school. But Adil sees something else in her eyes, a flicker of understanding. He snaps a terse command to his assistant. Get her out of here immediately. Anna blinks, confused. Mama, she calls. Clara moves as if to stand, but Adil is not fooled. He has spent decades reading people, detecting lies, recognizing threats. His voice turns deadly serious. Mr. Dawson, I want this child removed from the room now. Adil, she's just... David begins. Adil slams his hand on the table. I will not conduct business with unauthorized persons present, especially not unwanted observers. He glances at Anna with pure venom. David's jaw tightens. She stays. Then we have no deal. Adil begins gathering his documents. The moment of truth, millions hang in the balance. David's firm's future rests on his next decision. He looks at Anna, this brave little girl who risked everything to expose the truth. Anna, David says clearly, would you please tell Mr. Adil in his language exactly what you heard him say about the $200 million penalty clause? The room goes dead silent. Adil's face turns white as paper. Anna stands up, looks Adil directly in the eyes. and speaks in perfect, crystal-clear Arabic. I heard you say, the real text gives you complete control after only 30 days and that the Americans will pay $200 million in penalties when they try to break the contract. Adil staggers backward as if struck. The contempt he thought he could hide, his sneer that this Christian child was nothing, collapses in an instant. The silence stretches like a taut wire ready to snap. Adil stares at Anna as if she has materialized from thin air, no longer invisible, no longer dismissible, no longer just a child. This is impossible, he whispers. Anna steps forward, tablet clenched in her small hands, and addresses the room in clear, confident English. Mr. Adil has been speaking in his language this entire time because he believed none of you could understand him. He called me Christian trash, a filthy pest, and worthless garbage. He said my mama was an animal. He laughed that Americans are stupid and easy to fool. Her voice grows stronger with each accusation. But worse than the insults, he's been planning to steal $500 million through fraudulent contract language. She lifts the tablet. The phrasing gives him complete ownership of the project after 30 days, not 60. If you try to stop him, you owe $200 million in penalties. And the housing development for low-income families, he plans to tear it down and build luxury resorts for the wealthy. Adil's assistant bolts for the door, but David's security team, quietly summoned during recess, blocks his exit. Anna taps her screen. I recorded everything. On the tablet, Adil's voice fills the room in Arabic, while English subtitles scroll across. We'll take everything from this stupid company. The Americans know nothing about foreign trade laws. We'll make him agree, or we'll destroy him. We've done this before, he laughs, and we always have a backup lawyer on payroll inside their firm. Foster's hand flies to her mouth. Sullivan goes pale. Reed stares at Anna as if seeing an apparition. You recorded me? Adil's voice is barely a whisper. I recorded everything. Mr. Adil, including you laughing about how you've done this to other American companies, and the backup lawyer you bribed in this firm. David steps forward. Adil Karim, this deal is canceled effective immediately. I'm reporting attempted fraud to the FBI, the SEC, and international regulators. Please, Adil pleads, desperate. Let me explain. Explain to a federal judge, David says coldly. Anna isn't finished. She walks directly to Adil, a 12-year-old confronting the man who tried to steal $500 million. Mr. Adil, she says, voice calm and mature beyond her years. Do you remember what you called me when I was cleaning your wastebasket? Adil's mouth opens and closes soundlessly. You called me Christian trash and told someone to remove me from your site. You kicked my supplies across the floor. You grabbed my wrist so hard it left marks. Anna holds up her small arm, showing faint bruises from his rings. But while you were busy thinking I was worthless, I was busy saving $500 million and protecting hundreds of families from losing their homes. The words hit Adil like physical blows. Anna's quiet authority carries the weight of absolute justice. Everyone will know that the 12-year-old girl you called garbage was smart enough to stop your entire criminal operation. Adil collapses into his chair, his empire crumbling. David places his hand on Anna's shoulder. Ladies and gentlemen, he announces, voice ringing, I present Anna Wells, the youngest linguistic consultant in legal history and the person who just saved our company from the largest fraud attempt we've ever faced. Slow applause swells, hesitant at first, then thunderous. Foster stands, shaken. Anna, I don't know how to apologize for what I said earlier. You showed more intelligence and courage in one morning than I've shown in my entire career. Sullivan nods vigorously. The board needs to be notified immediately, one voice says. We need formal recognition. Already done, David interrupts. He produces a document, effective immediately. Anna Wells is appointed Chief Youth Linguistic Consultant with full educational support, her own office, and compensation appropriate to the value she's provided this firm. Clara steps forward, tears streaming down her face. Mr. Dawson, we can't. This is too much. Mrs. Wells, David replies with deep respect, your daughter didn't just save our company. She exposed international fraud that could have hurt countless families. This isn't charity. It's payment for services that no amount of money could truly cover. A senior partner approaches Anna hesitantly. May I shake your hand? I've never met anyone like you. As Anna shakes hands with the same people who called her a liar and a fantasist an hour earlier, Adil makes one last desperate plea. Please, he begs David. I have family, children. If this goes public, I'll lose everything. Anna turns to him, and for a moment her 12-year-old compassion surfaces. Mr. Adil, I hope your children never have to hear adults call them worthless because of how they look or where they come from. I hope they never have to prove they're smart enough just to exist in the same room as you. Her kindness is more devastating than any accusation. But you tried to steal money that would have built homes for kids like me. You tried to hurt my community, my friends, my neighbors. So no, I can't help you now, David's phone buzzes. Notifications pour in as news outlets pick up the story. 12-year-old Christian prodigy exposes $500 fraud. Cleaning lady's daughter saves major firm. Child prodigy outsmarts international criminal. David kneels down to Anna's level. His voice is gentle, almost fatherly. There are going to be reporters, interviews, maybe even book deals. But I want you to know, you never have to be anyone's symbol or spokeswoman. You're a child first, a genius second. Can I still help the refugee kids with their translation? She asks. You can do whatever makes you happy. Foster clears her throat awkwardly. Anna, would you be willing to teach some of us basic Arabic? I realize we have significant gaps in our international capabilities. Anna looks up at the woman who had called her a cleaning woman's brat only hours ago. Of course, Mrs. Foster. Learning new languages is fun. Even grown-ups can do it if they try really hard. The gentle innocence of her response, utterly free of malice despite the earlier cruelty, brings tears to Foster's eyes. As FBI agents enter to arrest Adil and his assistant, Anna sits in David's chair behind the massive mahogany table. Her small frame looks dwarfed by the executive furniture, but her presence commands the entire room. The Christian trash. Adil once tried to sweep away has become the most powerful person in the building, and she's only 12. 1 year later, Dawson and Associates. The brass nameplate on the office door reads, Anna Wells, Chief Youth Linguistic Consultant. Inside, 13-year-old Anna sits at a child-sized desk next to a full one, reviewing documents in 5 languages while her homework lies open nearby, advanced calculus that would challenge most high school students. Her office walls are lined with certificates of recognition from the FBI, the State Department, and 3 universities offering her early admission, but the spot of honor belongs to a framed photo. Anna teaching Arabic to refugee children at the community center. All of them laughing at something she's scribbled on the whiteboard. A soft knock interrupts her concentration. David enters with a young girl who looks remarkably like him. Anna, I'd like you to meet my daughter Emma. Emma, blonde and shy, clutches a soccer ball and stares at Anna with awe. Dad says you speak like 100 languages, she whispers. Only 12 fluently, Anna grins, closing her textbook. But I'm working on Mandarin. Want to hear something cool in Arabic? Really? Anna points to Emma's soccer ball. Uhibu kurat al-qadam. That means I love soccer too. My friend Layla taught me all the soccer words when she moved here from Syria. Emma's face lights up. Could you teach me to say goal in different languages? For the next hour, the 2 girls sit cross-legged on Anna's carpet. Emma demonstrating soccer kicks while Anna provides multilingual sports commentary that has them both giggling. David watches from the doorway, remembering how just a year ago his colleagues dismissed this child as worthless. Mr. Dawson? Clara appears beside him, now dressed in professional attire as Director of Community Outreach. The scholarship committee is ready for you. The main conference room, the same room where Adil once sneered at Anna. David addresses a diverse group of teenagers and their parents. The Anna Wells Foundation has approved full educational scholarships for 15 students this year, he announces. Each recipient was nominated by someone who saw potential others missed. Among them are a homeless honor student, a teenage single mother pursuing her GED, a boy whose learning disabilities masked his mathematical genius, and a deaf girl whose sign language skills make her a natural diplomat. But before we celebrate, David continues, I want you to hear from someone special. Anna enters the room. No longer invisible, she wears a simple dress and carries herself with quiet confidence that commands respect. A year ago, a very powerful man looked at me and saw nothing but Christian trash, she begins. He thought I was too young, too poor, too different to matter. He was wrong. She pauses, making eye contact with each scholarship recipient. But here's what I learned. He wasn't wrong because I'm special. He was wrong because every person in this room is special. Every person has gifts the world needs, even if the world doesn't see them yet. A teenage mother wipes away tears. The hardest part isn't proving you're smart enough or good enough, Anna says. The hardest part is believing it yourself when everyone around you says you're not. Her voice grows stronger. I'm here to tell you, you are enough. You are worthy. You are brilliant. And someday, you'll get the chance to prove it. She steps to the very spot where Adil once dismissed her as nothing. Look around your schools, your workplaces, your communities. Who are you not seeing? Whose voice are you ignoring? Whose potential are you overlooking because they don't look like what you expect genius to look like? The room is silent, hanging on every word from the girl who changed everything. The next time you see someone cleaning an office, ask yourself, what languages do they speak? The next time you pass a child sitting quietly in a corner, ask yourself, what are they thinking about? The next time someone seems different from you, ask yourself, what can they teach me? Anna pauses at the head of the table. Because here's the truth that took me 13 years to learn. Talent doesn't wear expensive suits. Intelligence doesn't need a college degree. Wisdom doesn't require wrinkles. And worth has nothing to do with the size of your paycheck. She looks directly into the camera recording for the Foundation's website. So, I'm asking you, yes, you watching this, what will you do differently tomorrow? Will you notice someone you've been overlooking? Will you listen to someone you've been dismissing? Will you see potential where others only see problems? Anna smiles, the same quiet smile she wore when Adil first underestimated her. Because somewhere out there is another kid like me, sitting quietly in a corner, understanding more than anyone realizes. And they're waiting for someone like you to see them. Don't make them wait too long. The screen fades to text. Share your story of hidden potential in the comments below. Like this video if you believe talent exists everywhere. Subscribe to Christian Stories for more true tales of people who changed the world by being exactly who they were meant to be. And the reminder echoes, soft but powerful, you never know who might be listening.